What's up, my beautiful people, and welcome back to another episode of the brUTherhood with my brother, Nick Shuley, and the one and only DJ Augustin. Fellas, what's going on? How y'all doing?
Bro? Your intros get better every episode, bro.
I don't know. It was so loving last time.
We're getting better, man. I think we're getting better. What did he say? You like the last?
It was so loving. He said your best friend, DJ. Like it was really sweet, man.
He didn't mean that. That didn't come from that.
You already know. You already know the vibes.
We know who you. TJ, your best friend. I'm second. It's cool.
I mean,
it's cool. I'll take second.
TJ, DJ. So it's like DJ's my little brother. Or the middle brother, and you the little bro. So, DJ and TJ.
I love it.
Y'all? What's up, y'all? We back.
What's going on, man? What's going on?
Why don't y'all tell them we got another guest, man? We're on a roll.
Hey, we're on the roll. We're 4 for 4, 3 for 3. Does Jerry count as a guest?
Yeah, he counts. Man, he's a stud. So
he was definitely excellent.
We're gonna have to get Jerry back on here, man.
Once we have some games stack up, that's kind of my thought. Is every time we have a few games stack up, because he watches all of them. I know he's buried in football right now with all the transfer portal and everything, so he's a little busy. But
big shout out to my Texas Longhorns entering the college football playoff series.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Pulling for those guys. You already know what it is, Spencer Hawes. I'm calling you out again.
I love it. Well, let's get into it. You know, we got special guests that we'll get to, Ze'Rik Onyema today, but let's open with the toughest part to talk about, boys. The game last night, the rematch of the old coach. I guess it wasn't a rematch, but it's the match with the old coach, Mr. Shaka Smart. We went to Milwaukee to play Marquette, and man, it was not what we wanted.
No bueno. Yeah. The return of Shaka. It's not really the return. We actually went up to Marquette or Milwaukee to play them.
Yeah, and you know, Shaka had that game marked on his calendar.
For
man.
Sure, I would too.
Yeah, he had it marked. He probably was gassing them boys up the whole week.
Well,
you know,
I mean, they lost to Wisconsin prior, so they were already leveled up and zeroed in and focused for this game because they couldn't give this one away.
Right.
Yeah, I saw a quote from Kolick, their point guard, who, man, that kid is a stud. I think he ended up with 26 or 28 against us. He put a hurting on us, but I saw a quote that he said that Shaka said he didn't really care that much about the game or something like that. But
I doubt that
wasn't true.
Yeah.
So, but go ahead.
The kid Kolick, he lit us up. He had 28 points. For me, it's like the schematics. If you got shooting like that, like he's not a great one-on-one player. He can make certain plays, but just to take out the threes, you just got to read everything on the perimeter to keep a body in front of a body. And they didn't do that. And they went under screens. He made threes. They lost him. He got open. He made threes. And he started off the game, making a 3-point.
He got comfortable early.
He got real comfortable.
That's a guy you can't leave, and we kept leaving him. And I mean, look, the crazy part about this game is to start the game, Max hit 3 straight threes. So we were up 9-2 to start. It was 2-0, and then we were up 9-2. And so the entire game, we hit 4 threes. And that's the thing is this team is just like, we're not shooting like we know we can. Right. And we ended up 4 of 16 from 3, 25%.
25%. They shot 46% from 3. So
yeah, that tells a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, two players basically beat us. And then their bench outscored us.
Yeah.
Their bench had 20. Our bench only had, I think, 16.
Yeah.
The Weaver kid played well defensively and offensively. They only played 8 guys. I don't understand that. You need a spark plug. Why not throw in the kid Chris Johnson? He can score. Why not try something different? And they really didn't. And, at the end of the first half, when they started to close, I think they were up like 12 or 14. They came out flat in the second half. They weren't energized, and we didn't change anything up. We didn't try to add a spark plug or try a different defensive schematic to kind of speed them up or create more turnovers. We did have 24 fast break points, which is good, but at the end of the day, you got to try something different. I would have liked them to go extend it into his bench and try, one of his freshmen, maybe somebody else.
Yeah, it's a lot of our scorers just they weren't hitting. Like Ethiel Horton, who's one of our best shooter, he had 2. And it was there just wasn't. Dylan at 8.
Tyrese had 3 points.
Right.
Yeah.
The only guy that really showed up was Max.
Max. We need more from those guys playing those big minutes. You playing 30 plus minutes, 20 plus minutes. You're gonna have to. And if you those guys, you gotta come with it. We can't have one guy having 25.
But if somebody's not getting it done right then and there, you have to go to the next person. That's how it kind of works.
True that.
It's like we really don't have a superstar. I mean, Max Amos is a pretty good player, but who is guaranteed minutes on this squad? I don't feel like anybody is. Yeah. So if that guy is not getting it done, I got to go to my next guy. Maybe I can squeeze some juice out of him and he produces, and that's the difference in the game. He might be an X factor.
Right.
So we got to try. You play 8. You play 8 if you know that these are your best 8. The other 9, 10 guys can't play. Right. But you don't know. You just playing 8. You got to go dig and go find the goal. Go down to your bench. You got to entrust in somebody. Give somebody else an opportunity. And that's just coaching, I think. Like, you just got to try something different. You can't keep on beating the dead horse. Doesn't work.
Yeah, we got to shake some things up right now because it just wasn't. Look, we kind of fought our way back in at the end of that towards the end of the first half, and then they went on that 13-0 run that just put us in the dirt. And same thing at the start of the second half. We didn't have it. The defense wasn't there. Something was off, and so who knows? We've got Houston Christian coming up Saturday. And they're like 1-6, I think. And that's
this is a feel good game. Like
we should
you
destroy
them. Marquette, who's top 10 in the country, and now you go play Houston Christian. Well, you gonna win by 30. Like, I don't get the scheduling.
Yeah. Well, and then we got LSU, who's actually, LSU's been a little disappointing this year. They're 5-3, and they lost early in the season to Dayton and Nichols. So they're not kind of the caliber they have, but they lost to Syracuse too. So we'll see. It's, that one's going to be in Houston. It'll be a good chance to get out and play a neutral site game. And, man, it's interesting. Like we're a team kind of without an identity, it feels like. And I think, this is a good time to find it. I think the word on the street is there's a chance Disu will be back Saturday, but he should for sure be back by the LSU game.
So that's my question for y'all, fellas. I know Dylan is a big part of this team. He's probably the key to this team. Is that what we're missing right now? I know it's still early, but does he come back and things turn around, or is it more to it than just Dylan coming back? What do y'all think?
That's a great question. For me, I don't think one person, moves the needle unless you're a superstar or a megastar. I think Dylan Disu is a good player, but at the end of the day, like what Nick was talking about, we have no identity. What do we play to? Like, what are we known for? Like, when teams go match up against us, what are they afraid of? And I don't feel like, when teams match up against us, the marquee teams, they're not afraid of us because we don't have our identity as a whole, and one person doesn't bring you our identity. Dylan Disu will help out, but until we classify and identify what we are good at, we won't know.
Look, that team last year, let's call it like what it was. Like, they were a great defensive team. They got after it. They squeezed. They really made these teams work. And so far, we don't have that intensity on defense. You look, we're closing out slowly. We're flat-footed at points. Like, it's not that intensity. And look, you can get away with it when you're shooting the lights out, but we're not shooting the lights out either. And so, like, Disu's not going to solve that. Dylan does give us a good option. I think the inside-out game with him and Asmus and some of these shooters will help, right? Like, that people are going to have to double down on him a lot. It should help open up Ze'Rik, but Ze'Rik's still banged up. We have a lot of things that got to get fixed, and we're going into these are the last few kind of warm-ups. That sounds bad to say, but they're the last few warm-ups for the Big 12, man, because once you get in the Big 12, you're not going to play these number 290 ranked teams in the nation. You're going to be week in and week out top 50.
Does Disu start right away, or do we slowly bring him off the bench?
I have a feeling they'll ease him in.
They'll ease him in because of minute restrictions, but on top of that, like, that was my whole thing with the whole roster and the whole rotation situation. You started the IT Horton kid, right? At first. Now Brock is in the starting lineup. I'm correct, right?
Yeah.
I'm
pretty sure. Like, he started yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay, who's next? Like,
Brock played 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Caden played 23
no real
minutes.
production. So, like, Brock is not a starter. Like, I love Brock. He's not a starter. He's your energy guy. He's a guy that you need to bring off the bench, and he can raise the level of competition. He's going to raise the defensive intensity. Him starting is not a plus for us. So, like, for me, you got to switch up that rotation again. And you got to keep your bench guys because they are interjected into the game a different way. And when you move them to the starting lineup, it's a little bit different. He played 30 minutes. He was a non-factor. He was an enigma. So we got to solve that. We got to solve who you're going to start. And that can be inconsistent right there. Changing your starting lineup from game to game, you have no chemistry. You have no chemistry.
A bright spot was Weaver, though. He came in, he played 26 minutes, 10 points. He was, maybe we think about throwing him in more, giving him more, more minutes.
I like what he brings. It reminds me a little bit of, it's like a younger poor man's version of Jabari, right? Like, it's not a very different type player, but that energy that he brings kind of changes what we look like on the court. And
that's what I'm saying. With the second unit, you took Brock out of the second unit. So now you're coming off the bench with that energy. You got Weaver, you got Brock, you got these guys that are playing against second unit guys. If the score is tied, maybe they uplift the score to 5 points or 6 points. That's why you keep your energy on the bench to bring them on against the second unit. And then you start Brock. That doesn't help you. That doesn't help you.
Yeah. Now, I agree with you, Roy. I mean, that, playing in the league, a lot of times, the starting lineup was what it was. We had our superstars and those guys, but, me and you, we both came off the bench for most of our careers. So that second unit, we knew that was our opportunity to make a run, make a push, get the lead up or push the lead out. You know what I'm saying? So, I agree with you, what you're saying with that second unit.
Yeah, because your minutes get stretched if you're playing well. Like, I was a backup guard at best, and when I got out there and I got some stops, I got a layup, I made a three, I played a couple more minutes and I knew that. And that was my mentality when I'm checking in the game. Same with you. Like, if you extend the lead, coach gonna let you rock out a little bit. I didn't have that my leash was short. Like, if I messed up, I'm coming out. So I knew that, and I had the focus and the mindset to come out there and do what I had to do and try to stretch that lead, because that was the only way I'm gonna get extra minutes, bro. Right. To be honest.
Right.
So,
but to your point too, though, like if a coach takes one of those second unit guys out and starts him or does something different, that can mess up the chemistry of that group. You know what I'm saying?
It definitely messes up the chemistry, because in practice, we on the white squad and we playing against the starters. And I know your game. I know when I dribble at you, you're going to go back door. I know the timing. I know you're going to set the right angle for the screen for me to come
You're not
off.
used to playing with those starting guys. It's different.
I know where to find you. I know you're going to come and pull over and be the low man. I know you're going to be vocal. Like, we working on the same accord. And when you're playing with the starters and you trying to interject, sometimes you're not going to step on people's toes.
Right.
So you're going to just be the little meek guys not being who you really are.
Right, exactly.
And that messes with the whole chemistry. You got to know the chemistry of your team, what works, what doesn't work, what lineups work, what guys, have a good rhythm. Like, that's big. That's a feel. You got to feel that. You got to see these guys, how they interact when they're on the court in practice, things of that nature. So being there, you understand that, DJ. You understand that. You get that.
Well, speaking of that, we have one of the top guys that, obviously, who comes off the bench. He started a couple games depending on injuries, but let's get to that. Let's get to that interview with Mr. Ze'Rik Onyema. Zerich, first question. Did I pronounce your name right?
Yeah, you did.
All right, man. We've been fumbling around with your name, so I just wanted to make sure we got it right because we're gonna be saying it the whole time.
The Marquette game, they were butchering your name, bro. For real.
I'm already knowing.
So Zerich, I appreciate you jumping on, man. I think we usually start off with what, obviously there's been a lot of guys kind of transferring in, et cetera. What made you choose Texas?
I would just say, being from Texas, that was a big role right there because, I would like to represent one of the biggest schools in Texas and just being able to compete in one of the biggest and toughest conferences in the nation right now. So I feel like that's a major factor of why I chose Texas. And just, as of right now, just, being able to compete and wanting to win one of the highest, stages in college basketball right now. And, as of right now, my teammates, we just got to focus on, working on little things, just getting better as a group. And that's something I always wanted to do. Just have a team that's willing to have one agenda and wanting to win and just win a national championship.
Yeah, that's awesome. No, I think we're really excited to have you here, man. I know we definitely need the big fellas here, so it's good to have you on the roster. And talk a little bit about you were recruited by Rodney Terry twice. Is that correct?
Sure. Yeah.
No. Talk a little bit about that, how it went, and the first time as well as the second time. Because I think a lot of people don't know you came from UTEP, where Rodney was. So
yeah. So the first time he recruited me, I was in high school. I was a junior doing AAU in the Gassel tournament, and that's when he first noticed me. I was like 6'6". I wasn't like 6'8" as I am now, but I was 6'6". But he recruited me and he said, he felt like I could do something in Conference USA. And, he really I feel like he really believed in me out of all the schools because I wasn't really getting a lot of interest from other schools. And he was like one of the first to really, offer me. So being that, he believed in me and seeing something in me, I really took that into account. So, I went to UTEP, played for him, and then he went to Texas. But I don't blame him because he always talked about wanting to coach there. So I didn't I wasn't mad at him or anything. So the second time around, being that I went in the portal, he was like one of the first to call me up. I was like, okay, why not? You know what I'm saying? He believed in me before. He and the fact that he's calling me back again to play for Texas, it shows a lot from him, knowing that he truly believes in me and something I can do. You know what I'm saying?
That's big. Can I ask you, what's the biggest difference between UTEP and the University of Texas? From the school life to the basketball to the day-to-day, how has your adjustment been coming to a bigger university?
I feel like the adjustment has been, it's a lot different from UTEP. I'll say that for sure because we're always in the gym. I feel like at UTEP, it was more on and off. Guys wasn't really wanting to get in the gym. I felt like the culture wasn't, what I'm saying? I felt like it was probably one or two guys trying to get in the gym all the time. So I feel like here there's everyone that wants to work. Everyone wants to be, get better. And just the coaches as well, the staff, they're all 100%. They're all bought into our success. So they're in us with the gym every single day, 24/7. If we need anything, they're always going to be there. And just the resources, you can't take that for granted. I'm grateful for, what they've given us so far. Food, just facilities, everything. It's just something you can't take for granted. So
it's top notch, right?
It's top notch. Yeah.
You can thank DJ and myself, for kind of paving the way. We didn't really
so modest.
I've been modest all my life. Now it's time to speak on it.
Start collecting.
We've been eating Franks and beans when we was there. Now you're eating lobster and shrimp. But no, kudos. We're glad to have you. Coach Terry was assistant coach when I was there, and he's a great leader of men. Him recruiting you for a second time is awesome. He's definitely a big supporter of your game, and what you could do on the court. So, like I said, I'm glad you're a Texas Longhorn.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, hey, I got a question for you, bro. How's that big man group, like the chemistry between you guys? I know, you, Caden, I don't know if Brock is with y'all during y'all workouts and stuff like that. Dylan, he's been hurt, but what's that group like? Like, what's y'all chemistry? I know y'all competing against each other in practice and you're trying to make each other better, but like, how is it off the court and, just being together as a group? Like, how's that chemistry been?
Our chemistry is awesome. They're great guys. Brock, Disu, Caden, we're always like trying to help each other, even outside the court. Like, Disu is always mentoring us, telling us, even when he's hurt. So, he's on the bench, telling me what to do, telling Caden what to do. And that shows great leadership from him, and Brock as well. Brock is a great leader. He's always, trying to help and always wants us to win. So he does what's needed for us to win. And like, we're always competing, and that's something that we need. But like overall, our chemistry is just great.
That's good.
I think we talk about it a lot. Like this whole transfer portal era, a lot of people kind of forget that you kind of got to rebuild that chemistry every year. And I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're from a military family, correct?
Yeah.
So you moved around a lot. Do you think that experience of, moving around and kind of getting into new surroundings and settings, has that helped you kind of adjust in getting into a new place in Austin?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it really has, because I lived in like 6 places, so I got to learn and make new friends quick. So coming here wasn't a problem, because they're awesome. Everyone's awesome here. Yeah.
Where all have you lived?
I was born in Georgia, Savannah, Georgia. Then I lived in Houston. I lived in Germany. I lived in El Paso, San Antonio, then Hawaii. And now my family's living in Virginia.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy, because I've been to all those places. And true story, when I was playing high school basketball, I got recruited by UTEP. And I told my mom, it was like UTEP was in the WAC conference. I forgot what's the WAC conference.
Western Athletic Conference.
Yeah, Western Athletic Conference. Thank you. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to take a visit to UTEP. And she was like, no, you're not. You're not going down to Texas. It's too far from New York. She was like, you're not going by Mexico. And I'm like, relax, Mom. And I end up at Texas anyway. But she wasn't letting me go on my visit to UTEP. That was so crazy. But go ahead. You lived in a lot of places.
Yeah.
What's your favorite spot you lived in? Put you on the spot.
I probably say El Paso.
Really?
El Paso, why? Yeah. Put us on the El Paso, because El Paso is not topping Austin. Let's keep that 100.
Sell us. Let's go.
You cannot sell me.
Cool.
Austin is cool.
Yeah, Austin cool.
Whoa.
I mean,
I like it. Hot take.
I haven't lived in Austin. I'm talking about like in terms of like living. Like I just got here, so but in terms of like living, like with my family and all, El Paso for sure.
Oh, because your family's there. It's different. Your family's in El Paso. Yeah, okay. It's a little bit different. You were getting home cooked meals and things of that sort, right? Yeah.
The culture there too is different. Like the Hispanic culture.
Okay.
Yeah, it was cool.
Respect. Speak on it. You gotta inform us about, because I'm pro Austin. I'm from New York City, and Austin is a liberal city. The live music capital of the world. The food is eclectic.
Awesome,
the people are awesome. It's baby Silicon Valley now. So F1 is there. Like you got to speak facts now, because Austin is popping now. You got
Austin up there. Hey, I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, you got ACL. You got
Roy's the mayor apparently, man. He's like he's got the head of tourism board.
Southwest. Yeah, that's
I didn't know F1 was down there.
Yeah, F1 is down there.
Damn.
Yeah, come on, Google, Tesla. We're doing in the SEC. Let's speak on it. Austin is one of the fastest growing cities in America.
Facts.
Facts. Sorry for the quick facts, but
go ahead, GJ.
No. I read something that you grew from 5'10" to 6'7" in like 3 years when you was in high school, right? So when I was down there watching y'all this summer, I saw how you was moving. You surprised me the way you shoot the ball too from 3.
Like a guard?
Yeah, did that growth spurt, like, did you start off as like a guard first and then you just grew and now your position is a big? You know, how did that work?
Yeah, so, when I was in high school, I went to John Jay High School. I had a coach named Coach Taylor. He really helped me develop me into like being a guard. He always had me watching Westbrook and stuff like that. So I was really like practicing being a guard.
Big shout out to Russell Westbrook, my guy.
Yeah, so I just, he like trained me to, be a guard. I was shooting like a guard, dribbling up the floor. I was more like a wing player. And then as the years went on, I just kept growing and growing and then growing. I just stopped growing until I got to UTEP. And when I got there, they just started, I started working on my hook. And I started it was a whole different, position for me because I grew a lot bigger. So it was a lot different for me. Yeah.
That's good, man, because that's going to be big for you at the next level, at your size. You're going to have to be able to shoot that ball, slip the screens, pick and pop. So keep working on that, man. I was really surprised by the way you shot the ball this summer. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I had another question. Who is your closest teammate on this Texas basketball team?
I'll probably say CJ.
Okay.
CJ from Houston, right?
Yeah, he's from Houston, most city.
Yeah. H-Town boys.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You're not from Houston, DJ.
I said H-Town boys. They from Houston, bro.
Okay.
I'm from New Orleans. I always rep New Orleans. Houston took me in.
Say it, baby.
Houston took me in, but New Orleans always gonna be my home. You know when you go down there, you good, bro, with me.
My mom from Thibodeau. She used to live down in Thibodeau.
Oh, for real? Okay. Yeah, that's not far from New Orleans, man. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, Zerich, what's your just kind of getting to Austin, et cetera? Like, what's your favorite thing to do when you're not playing basketball?
My favorite thing to do? Sleep.
Good answer.
Be honest. Yeah, there you go. Be honest. You're student athlete. That clock is always ticking. So sleep is essential. I respect that. That's a great answer. Yeah, there you go.
What's your kind of like pregame ritual? What do you do before every game? Is there something you eat, something you listen to? Like what do you got going on there?
Yeah, what you listening to?
That's what I want to know. Before the game, I got to take a nap.
Pregame nap.
How old are you, man?
Pregame nap, man.
I just had a
pregame nap, bro.
Are you in your 40s like us? No, I was playing.
Hey, when I played, bro, I had it don't matter if it was 10 minutes. I had to take a pregame nap, bro.
Exactly.
Pregame
Oh
nap.
yeah, you did everything as a ritual.
Yeah, it's a ritual, man. Got to. What's your favorite restaurants in Austin? You got any favorite restaurants?
Nah, not so far. I'll be going to this Nigerian spot.
Okay,
yeah?
Facts.
Yeah,
What's the name of it? Shout it out.
I don't know what it's called.
That's crazy.
This was their chance, man. Their chance to get some big exposure. And he's like, I don't know the name.
Yeah, you're funny, bro.
This was your chance to get some free Nigerian food, too.
Yeah, exactly. For real. Some NIL.
NIL food.
Nigerian market something. I just
Okay.
We'll do a follow-up episode. You can shout him out. Well, I know you said Westbrook, but like, is there anybody now who you kind of model your game after in the league?
Right now, I'll probably say like OG and Isaiah Stewart.
That's nice. That's a good comp.
What are you studying at Texas, man?
I'm studying kinesiology and health right now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
How is it playing at the Moody Center? Like
The Moody Center?
Yeah. I haven't been there yet. Everybody, they putting a battery in my back and they kind of hyping it. So being that you're so modest and so humbled and so laid back, give me the truth, the full facts of the Moody Center.
It's electric. I'll tell you that. The fans get it jumping. It's different. I ain't gonna lie, it's different.
It's vibrant in there.
It's way different from the Irwin Center.
Irwin Center was too big. I mean, we used to sell it out.
It was too far away, man. It was like kind of cavernous.
But then they brought the fans in. Yeah. They brought the fans closer. It was just like it was hit or miss. Like the big games, people would show up, and even if it was 12,000, 13,000, that's not filling the whole Irwin Center up. And now, like, you got a smaller venue, and you can jam pack people into this arena. And it's state of the art. So I can't wait to see what this all about.
You're gonna love it.
I got to get the grand tour.
There's a wait list to get tickets, man. Like season tickets. That's how crazy it is.
That's
really. It's a wait list to get season tickets.
Yeah, you got to get on the list.
I've never heard of that. That's crazy to me. Like they was giving away tickets. Like when you go to HEB, you get a free UT basketball ticket. Like they were really giving away the tickets, and they couldn't fill up the Irwin Center. Now you got people on wait list. That's football status. Like
Austin's a big city now, man. Austin's big now.
And there's no pro sports. So now you're pulling up to a University of Texas game and you getting that feeling from a jam.
There's soccer. We got pro soccer here now. Austin FC, baby. MLS.
Oh, MLS.
Yeah. It's fire
right
too.
Now. Yeah, soccer popping right now.
You got to go to a game when you're in town, Roy. Austin FC's. Have you been out to a game at the soccer stadium, Zerich?
No, I haven't.
Oh man, we got to get you out there.
You don't do nothing but sleep, huh?
Man, I ain't sleep.
Hey, what's it like to sleep at the Moody Center?
They got beds in the Moody Center.
They do have a fire.
They got a nice lounge.
Hey, they got a fire players lounge, bro. It's killing us.
Really?
When we was there, yeah. Hey, Zerich, what game on the schedule, man? You got circle right now. You got any games circle? Like, I can't wait for this game. I'm gonna get them buckets. Like any game.
Kansas.
Oh.
Is it at Kansas or
it's at Kansas?
Oh,
it's at Kansas.
You guys got any more questions for? Oh yeah, Zerich, Roy, I'm gonna let you ask the question. You ask your garden question.
Playing in the
New York
of basketball, New York City. The Garden. How was that a whole experience? For me, the Garden and like the Staples Center is probably the two prestigious or greatest arenas to play basketball in. And I've been all over the world. It's just the way, the lights are there. The lights are right on the center. Everywhere else is dim. So the aura is completely different. And, I just want to know how your experience was at Madison Square Garden. The world's greatest arena.
It felt so surreal. Like just running out that tunnel and just seeing, I was like, whoa. Like it was a crazy feeling. And, all the fans all, around the stadium, my family there and everything. It was just a great experience to be able to play in such a historical building. So it was awesome. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I kind of took it for granted because I worked there too for 2 years. I worked with the Knicks. And I got a chance to work there every day. And, being from New York City, growing up, watching the Knicks, I wasn't really a fan of the Knicks because they kept on trading the point guards, and just to work there every day is a humbling experience. So for people to get to go to and play under those lights is kind of crazy. And the way that the stadium is in the middle of the city is kind of wild too, like that whole dynamic. So it's, it's only one city. The city's so nice, they named it twice, New York, New York.
Every episode.
I gotta do that. I gotta represent where I'm from. Excuse me?
Hey, Zerich, what hotel y'all stayed in, bro? Y'all was in Manhattan? Where y'all was at?
Y'all went to Central Park. Y'all went to Harlem.
It's called like Intercontinental or something like that.
Yeah, the Intercontinental, yeah. Well, Zerich,
So-
you got any questions for these guys or anything? Like, not to put you on the spot, but otherwise, man, we appreciate you jumping on.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
For
bro.
sure.
Thank you, man.
You're
Good luck to
the
you.
man, dude. Yeah, good luck this season, and we'll catch up with you later in the season if you got time. So
Awesome.
Thanks, Zerich.
Appreciate
it, man. What a nice kid, man.
Yes, he's a good kid. He had a good sense of humor. He was authentic. He was definitely a pleasure to have on the podcast. And
Man, I'm glad we got him, man. Especially with the injuries we've had. Like he was big to step in, especially in those games in the Garden and stuff like that. Like it was big.
so he has 2 more years left to play at UT
Yeah,
this year, next year.
Yeah, because he was a sophomore.
So this is his junior year, and then he'll be a senior next year.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But who knows, man? With all the COVID years and stuff going on right now, I don't know. People getting these football guys are in their 7th year.
That's crazy. And now with the whole, what's the new NIL situation? Now schools can provide NIL?
No, so the NCAA recently tried to propose something that the schools could do, which is basically like an even pay for all female and male athletes and all these things, but it's still the school paying for it. And I don't know, I saw the SEC commissioner came out and said basically like, it'd have been nice if you talked to us before you announce this and talk to the people who have to like try to pay this.
Cut the checks, right?
Yeah. So I don't know if that's going to get any traction. I know it got a lot of headlines, but I don't know what's going to happen there. I just doubt it, because then they'll technically most likely become employees of the school, which means you got to provide health insurance, which I don't think the schools want to pay for that.
Of course, the schools don't want to pay for anything. They just want to get a check.
Too much, bro.
Oh man, it gets crazier every day. Like football is like, this is like just the transfer portal just opened up and they have 3,000 kids are in the transfer portal.
I know the running back for Florida, ATN.
Yep.
Is that his brother that plays in the NFL?
I'm pretty sure it's his brother. Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He put his name in the transfer portal.
They're talking about Colorado for him. We'll see.
Really?
So when they put their name in the transfer portal, basically they wait for colleges to reach out to them.
Yeah, you get re-recruited.
Yeah, that's kind of the like the way that it happens. But you can still take your name out once you put it in. But a lot of schools, if you put your name in, they tell you to hit the road. Yeah.
So if I go to college, if I go to UT and I kill, but then I don't want to go back there next year and I put my name in the transfer portal, I'm gonna be a hot commodity. Everybody gonna be trying to get
everybody
100%.
And they can offer me different things because of NIL, right? Like money and this and that.
Well, they can't. So NIL can't be used for inducement. So you can't say if you come here, you'll get this.
Right. Yeah, right.
But, no. But you can factually recruit. You can say every kid on our team last year made blank, or a player your status last year made blank. So it's like
put it out there.
That's kind of the way they do it. But there's also there's apparently like all this like back channel stuff because everybody's got friends and agents that are always out there talking to everybody. So it's crazy, man. It's definitely a new landscape.
So all these numbers are inflated. Like, for instance, the kid Hunter Dickerson went to Kansas from Michigan. Word on the street, he's getting $2 million to go to Kansas. It's like, really? Like,
dude, I think generally most of what you hear is pretty inflated. But like, that's the thing, is nobody can fact check it. Like, the only places that can fact check it are the ones actually like quote paying. So like, you could come in there and be like, hey, so-and-so's offering me all this craziness. And like, how do you fact check that?
Yeah. How do you fact check? Are they getting advance? Is it paid a lump sum? How is it paid out?
So it can't be tied to anything. Like, it can't even be tied to the school. So technically, like, if you sign a deal that says you got a 2-year deal and you're getting $20,000, whatever it is, right? Like, if you transfer, but you still complete all of the things you have to complete, like, you can fly back and do every event they have, they still have to pay you.
They have to pay you. It's
100%.
Contract.
Yep. And it can't be tied to a school. So the kids can still get paid.
Wow. So the quarterback from Oklahoma, the Rattler kid, he got all this money to go to Oklahoma. He was still tied up in his money, huh?
I think he was pre-NIL. I think Rattler was pre-NIL.
Okay, he's pre-NIL.
But when he transferred to South Carolina, I think he got NIL probably. But he's going pro now, I think.
You think he's going to get drafted?
I don't know, man. I used to watch that documentary.
Me too, on Netflix, right?
On Netflix.
Yeah.
It was him. Who was the other two
It was
people?
a few other kids. Kid from Bishop Norman or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. He might pan out. He might really pan out.
Look at the quarterbacks in the NFL right now. I mean, you got like 15 teams or something that have backup quarterbacks playing. Like, there's a need for quarterbacks. It's a pretty deep draft, which is why they're saying Quinn Ewers might come back, just because this draft is so deep for quarterbacks that like you kind of get lost in the mix.
So let's talk Texas football. So what's the whole thing about if Ewers stays, what happens to Manning? Archie, yeah.
Well, I think the original plan was supposedly, this is what it's out there, is that Ewers was going to play this year and then he was going pro. Arch would take over, and then Arch had a battle with Malik, but Malik's solid, man. He'll get a ride somewhere. So that was kind transfer? I think so. He'd be smart too. But I think what'll happen is if Ewers comes back, like the Mannings already kind of came out and said, Eli Eli sat out his first year, redshirted his first year, then sat out the next year, and then eventually started. So they seem to be okay with him kind of being back up another year. And plus, like, moving in the SEC, man, to have kind of a proven veteran quarterback like Ewers is a big deal. You know, like, you're coming into a brand new conference, whereas that's a chance for Arch to like get some time in. And honestly, if Ewers gets hurt, like, Arch will be the guy. So it's it's exciting times for Texas football, man. It's taking this
college
school
football playoffs. Let's talk about it. Our University of Texas Longhorns, the number 3 ranked team in the AP, going against the number 2 team, undefeated Washington Huskies. Spencer Hawes, you know what it is because you went to Washington.
Man, it's gonna be a real battle. The matchup on paper of that game is they got it kind of right in the fact that Alabama's playing Michigan, the two really like physical kind of grinded out teams, and then you've got the two like aerial attack, fun, you know, kind of air it out stuff between UW and Texas. It's gonna be fun, man. Like that UW team and Texas match up very well. It's like their strength is passing, and our secondary is not as strong. Our strength is offense, and their defense isn't as strong. So it's gonna be a track meet.
Yeah, well, let's talk about it. It's a rematch, though.
January 1st in New Orleans.
They beat us in the Alamo Dome last year.
I was at that game. It was rough.
Like this is a great matchup against two great teams, and I can't wait to see the outcome. You know, I'm pulling for Texas big time.
I hope so.
Of course. What you mean? We're in the playoffs. Like, we two wins away from winning the national championship. Like,
it's big time, man.
I'm getting 05 vibes. I'm getting Vince Young vibes.
Dude, you guys know it. When that football team wins, it takes the profile and the level of sports on campus to just a whole other level, man. So it's big. And plus, we got the volleyball team playing right now.
I'm watching it right now. They're playing Tennessee, but we're the real UT. Hook 'em.
The women's team's 10-0 right now, knocked off UConn at home. So like the women's team's killing it, man. I actually reached out to Rory Harmon, the point guard, to jump on our podcast because I think we need to show some love. We need
you, Rory.
The sisterhood.
The sisterhood. We want to hear your story because you out there, you are hooping it up. So big shout out to Rory. Mm-hmm. We would love for you to be on the podcast and, looking forward to another episode.
Well, man, it was awesome having Zerich on. I'm gonna try to line up another guest. Just keep these coming, man. And we gotta get this. I want to make this Rory Harmon thing happen. You know who we should get on here too, who is a great interview, is Mr. Vic Schaefer, the coach of the women's basketball team. Man, he's a solid dude, and like he's a great interview. So I'm gonna reach out.
That'd be good.
I'm open for bringing on Rory. Like that would be dope. Like let's try to work on that one.
Yeah,
she's one of them. She's one of them for real.
Well, we'll get a special guest. We'll get it going. I keep threatening to have Adam Gracely on here. We need to have the man Adam Gracely on here. We're just gonna tease AG every week.
We're pumping him up so much.
We gotta get
people like, who's Adam Gracely?
Yes. Oh, it's gonna be a lot of jokes for sure. It's gonna be a full cap out session.
I love it. Well, it was good talking with y'all, guys. Always, this is getting more fun and more fun every time we do it. So we'll be back next week, and looking forward to chatting again, fellas.
Definitely appreciate you guys. Y'all enjoy.
Next week, man.
See you next week.